Oh, proper rock band. Best band since Thin Lizzy. The Darkness.
What big words.
Growing on Me. XFM 104.9.
A bit rash, I think.
R. Gervais, S. Merchant, K. Pilkington. With a little bit of... I know for a fact, that Steve is getting a little bit sick of Carl's attitude.
Oh, his attitude's appalling.
Yeah, I quite like it though, because it's straight away friction, and he's sort of like, you know...
To be fair, I genuinely don't think I'm the culprit in this. I think I come in and I just ask him a simple request, and immediately on my back. Whinging, moaning, whining. I mean, I don't know if there's any evidence...
Well, it's funny you say that actually, because in a survey, it came out this week. It's quite extensive. Mancunians take more sick days than anyone else. Mancunians take more sick days than workers in any other city in Britain and Ireland, according to Manchester-based employment firm. Survey by Peninsula found employees in Manchester take 11 sick days per year, whereas closest rivals Edinburgh and Dublin take an average of 9. Liverpool, Newcastle, Birmingham, Cardiff only 8.
Is Reading mentioned there, or
no,
Bristol?
it's not even in there. They don't take days off. London is only 7. So the point is, I mean, I don't think you can take anything from it, but if you're an employer and you had a Mancunian and a Liverpudlian and they were equal on everything else, but you really couldn't afford them to be away, Liverpudlian's going to probably be away for 8 days.
Sure.
The Manc's going to be away for 11, phoning in sick. And
so what can you? I mean, just analysing the data there. What would you extrapolate from that?
I really don't know. I mean, call if you've got any clues, or email us in if you've got any. I don't know why they. I think maybe. I don't know. Mancunians.
I don't really know many people from Manchester.
Well, I only know one, but I know he was off sick because he put on wet trousers and he got
a cold, I think.
Yeah. Well, he just said he was. Didn't come in for. Yeah. He left early as well once.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, that's the survey. I don't know. I mean, it's evidence because it's statistics. So. There you go.
Guaranteed evidence that that's proof.
Any thoughts on that, Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk?
I mean, oddly enough, you're from Manchester, Carl.
Yeah, I am, yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
On what, sorry?
No, on the survey.
Wasn't really listening.
Sure.
Well, Mancunians take off more sick days. They call in sick. I mean, presumably spuriously.
Yeah.
I mean, because they've got the same body. They're biologically the same, so...
so they're obviously making up their life.
Yeah, some of the days. Maybe there's the 3 extra they're making up.
Yeah, they're moaning.
Probably because we work a lot harder than the others, so we're tired, so you're sick, so you need time off. Probably.
Seems unlikely.
I mean, the Scousers, to be honest, take them on, let them work in your office. But you know, how many computers are going to go missing?
Right, that...
So offensive.
Is offensive.
Right.
This is a survey that proved. You just made that up. You just carried on the myth that Liverpudlians thieved. Now that's not true. That is not true.
Well,
it's not.
Well, some of them do.
There's been no survey that you're more likely to thieve if you're from Liverpool than if you're in Manchester. So that hasn't been proven yet. So all I've got is the evidence from a survey of, I think, 3,500 people. It's proof that Mancunians take off more sick days. XFM 104.9. This is April Come She Will by Simon and Garfunkel.
But I tell you this though,
Go on.
You know, if we're talking about ghosts and that.
Yeah.
Now, Hilda.
Yeah.
Choose your bog standard old woman.
Right.
I think that's on the gravestone.
I know, yeah.
No,
did you do the eulogy?
No, you know.
That's great.
You
what can we say about Hilda? Bog standard old woman. Right, there's sandwiches at the bar.
That's the most insulting thing you could ever say.
There's nothing. No.
Let's just think about
Hilda
that.
lived her life. Thank you for coming to celebrate the life of Hilda,
Who died at 11:15 specifically.
and was a bog standard old woman. Are we burning or burying?
But anyway, she lived to be quite old.
Which annoyed you?
In a bog standard way.
But this is what I was saying about us all living too long and stuff. It just makes it worse when it does come to us being a ghost.
I don't know what you're talking about
That
again.
sentence made no sense.
Just, if you are going to be haunted, right, say, I know you're going to say, well, I don't believe in them, so I'm not worried, so don't be going on about it. But say, like, you know, your new place that you've bought, you move in, and you go to bed, and there's something moving about the room. You see it, it's a ghost.
Oh no.
Okay, let's for the sake
More
of argument,
likely, a Siamese cat called Ollie.
No, because that's probably got its own room, right? But what I'm saying is, would you prefer to have an old person moving about looking at you, or just a young person? I'd prefer a youngish person who looks normal and he's sort of floating about, and you go, oh, all right.
That looks normal, floating about.
No, but an old woman would really scare me. And ghosts are always going to have a bad reputation because they look scary because they're old. So that's...
You talk absolute shit.
That's all I'm saying. So we're now
going... we ever charged for this?
No, but look, if we are going into another life, right, after this...
Which we're not,
we move on to another life.
Yeah.
We're not going to move on. That land, say if it is like another world, where we go and we plough fields and we grow
croppage.
We grow crop.
Crops,
if you want.
Yeah, well, I would like to use the English language.
Yeah, but there's too much fruit about, so just a crop. Just something we need to get by.
Fruit about. He's got an answer for everything. So we grow some crop.
Yeah. So you grow your crop, and now, if we're all going into that other land or world or universe, old, who's going to do the cropping?
Oh God! Oh, I've never had so much crop in my life.
It's a load of old crop.
Steve, you're out of the room there. Carl took a phone call from someone.
Okay.
He's found a cellmate.
Right.
Not a soulmate. I think one day they will be cellmates.
Yes.
Because he's just like, he loves everything Carl loves, and he was telling Carl stuff, and Carl's face was lighting up.
Yeah.
He's told him of 2 Russian kids in the circus. They're covered in hair, and their mum tells them off because they're covered in fleas. Carl said, see, that annoys me again, innit? They do something else. And the bloke went, yeah, they should just make money out of being hairy. And Carl went, exactly. And he said, have you heard of the 3-legged juggler? And the bloke went, no, what's that? He went, that annoys me as well. Because he thinks they shouldn't have done juggling, they should have done football.
Do you know what I mean, though, Steve?
What do you mean a 3-legged juggler? What are you talking about?
He's a famous 3-legged juggler.
Oh, he's mega famous. He's like the Beckham of wherever he's from.
But the other day I was looking in, I don't know, Bizarre magazine or something, right? And there was this fella who, he had no arms. So you saw a picture of him, his job was fixing watches, did it with his feet.
Go on.
Well, it's just, why pick the most hardest job to do when you haven't got any hands? Crush grapes. Or... Do you know what I mean? That annoys me.
Oh, crush grapes! Imagine him being told that he comes into the careers advisory where they go, now, what do you want to do, Hargreaves? Make watches? Right, take a look at your arms. Crush grapes, mate. Sorry, you're a grape crusher. Next. Brilliant. Brilliant. I would love you to be a career advisory in some sort of clinic. It'd be brilliant.
I love the fact that it annoys you. Here's a man, he's got no arms, he has learned to fix watches with his feet.
Yeah.
An incredible talent, incredible skill, he's utilising that brilliantly. That's annoying to you. You are angered by it.
Right, I'm only being honest. Now you be honest, right? Your watch is broke, who would you go to? You're in a rush, you need it fixing in a rush. Now, you need some fresh wine.
Be honest.
Oh, you're amazing.
But what's this thing that you've been talking about, this video?
Freaks, right. It was a thing that was banned for like 50 years. I think it's been taken off again, but I don't know why, if it's just been deleted, right? It's a quest. If anyone out there has got a copy of Freaks on DVD or VHS, can Carl borrow it, please? I mean, I almost want to set up a camera to see him watching it. It's absolutely real. They use people in the circus of the time. I think it's the 20s or 30s of the Depression. And there's people, there's coneheads, there's a bearded lady, all genuine. There's a bloke they call the Human Slug who's got no arms and no legs, Carl. And he's just there, and he rolls a cigarette and lights it with his mouth.
I think I've seen his brother, who isn't called the Human Slug, is called the Pillow.
Right. How does he make a living?
He,
Does anyone want to meet Carl for money? Do you know what I mean?
The annoying thing was, right, there was a picture of him, I was going to put it on
I think I've seen his brother.
on our website, we put things up like this, right? If you go to ricky.gervais at xfn.co.uk /...
What? You put things like that on my website? It's nothing to do with me. I want people to know that that website is not kept or looked at by me. So, what have you put on there?
There's a fella on there who's known as the Pillow. And he's, you see, I get a bit worried with things like this, because we're not sort of having a go or anything, it's just things that fascinate
you.
Yeah. And, yeah, it's a guy, it might be the same sort of thing. What's your one
I
called?
bet you used to stare at people with goiters, didn't you, when you were little, in Tesco's?
Well, just go to xfm.co.uk/Ricky, it is.
What's the worst thing you've ever seen on, like, a human face?
You know what it is, and I don't want to talk about it.
I can't remember. Have you told me?
Yeah.
What is it?
But go,
it's not
go
the
to,
elephant lady.
Go to the... Yeah.
Is it the elephant lady? You talked about that, I know.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it again. Go to the website and see the human pillow.
Why is he a human pillow?
That's what annoyed me. I thought he was more of a draft excluder.
Things are flying here at XFM. People have called in. There is a video of freaks on the way. Carl's going to see that within the week. That's exciting. That's exciting for me. Do you know what I mean? About our education of Carl. We started off trying to teach him about science and history, and now we just find that he likes pictures of hairy Chinese kids and
Who
women. Who doesn't? No, true. You've got a theory about pictures of freaks, haven't you?
You see, you always bring things up that I don't want to talk about, because I'm really worried that people, if you've just tuned in for the first time, it's the first time you hear it, and we're talking about hairy Chinese kids.
Yeah.
Talking about the human worm.
Carl, listen. People don't think that you're taking the piss out of those people. They lump you in with them. Do you know what I mean? They think that you're a freak of nature. So you can say anything you want. Do you know what I mean? Because it's honest, it's from the heart, it's genuine. So, don't worry about that.
Yeah, but Suzanne was saying last night that I've got a heart of stone, or whatever it is.
Why?
Because I wasn't crying at Comic Relief. And all I always used to say to her, get out Elephant Man, let me watch that for 30 minutes, I'll be crying my heart out.
Why? Why do you care about that but not...
Because it's... That is more real, isn't it, right? Think of John Merrick.
Sorry. What, the film starring John Hurt is more real than footage of starving people in Africa?
No, but what I'm saying is, think about... See, this is why I didn't want to bring it up, because people are gonna just say...
Well, you're allowed to cry at what you like. People can't have you for not crying at someone and crying at someone else.
Imagine that, like, if you've seen the film, you know, his head's all, you know, messed up and that.
Yeah.
He's getting picked on all the time.
Yeah.
By Michael Elphick, I remember.
Yeah. It's just really, really sad. Whereas, you know, we're trying to help out.
But you give him a bun and he forgets it.
Do you know what I mean, though?
He never forgets, Rick.
Oh dear.
Anyway.
Oh God.
We're giving away stuff again.
Yeah.
Tell
me a theory about freaks who have their picture taken.
No, I'd leave it.
No, can I tell you?
We'll do it next week then.
Can I tell you what this is?
Go on quickly, what is it?
Right, when he sees a little picture, like in his books he's got, he carries round those things, right? And there's like a fella with a little head with some like, able-bodied people. He goes, the only reason they got to take that picture, right, was so they could show their mates, say, look at me, the little fella with a little head. That's his theory.
Yeah. So every picture of a freak, they're being...
Steve, let me describe the picture to you. This little fella with a little head.
Right.
Playing on the piano.
I've seen it.
All his family stood around and mates and that. When have you ever seen a picture of someone playing the piano and everybody wants to be in on it? Doesn't happen.
Maybe it was one of those kind of Christmas cards they sent out to everyone.
It wasn't. You could see one of them was like in a rush to go away. He was probably planned to go out, and he was like, "But they were taking a picture." It's I'll be in it then before I go out, and it was all. He's out of order.
Yeah.
If you say, do you know the one?
I do know the one you mean. Yeah.
What about the one in the when you went down to Cornwall in that little
We'll
pub?
talk about that next week.
What you want to get on, do you?
If you want me, I'm your country.
Cardigans, You're the Storm on XFM 104.9. If anyone from Heart or Magic or Radio 1 or Radio 2 is listening, could well be available come October.
Yeah.
Alright?
Please get in touch.
Yeah.
I think that my new TV is too big, Rick.
I said that
I know,
when he
I
bought
know
it.
what I was thinking.
But I can't believe it. He talked about this buying it. He's got a bit of cash now, of course. And what is it? 42 inches? 42-inch plasma screen. What did it cost you? $3 grand or something?
Don't tell me. That's
wow, it's ridiculous.
£3.5
grand, big spender. Of course, it's too big.
Well, I can't get far enough back in my room, in my living room for it.
You know, you're meant to be, I think, 4 times the screen size away from it.
Really?
To get out from the air. So that's 4 times 42 inches you're meant to be sitting away from it, which is impossible.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to just get friendly with the neighbours.
Yeah, watch it through a hat.
Yeah. If that's the case, though, are you better off just getting a portable?
What?
I don't understand that rule. What are you saying?
Well, you're meant to be 4 times the screen size away from the TV.
But then what's the point of having a big telly if you've got to keep moving further back? Get a portable
and sit right next to it.
Is that how they sell it? Is that what they say to you?
Well, no, it's a rule, but I do see your point. Why do people go to the cinema then?
Did you see films that aren't out yet?
Fair enough, he's got you there.
Done.
I tell you this though, I had it delivered, and are you supposed to tip delivery men?
Of course you are.
I don't know.
Well, if
I've never had anything delivered before. I've never spent that much money.
Not if it's a courier with an envelope, but if it's a bloke who's struggled up the stairs, two fat blokes with a fridge, then give him a £5 for a drink.
But the problem was, I didn't realise, and I was thinking to myself, I wonder if I've got to tip him. And the guy was leaving, and my mobile phone went off in my pocket, and I reached in to get it. He put his hand out, thinking it was a tip. I went, it's just my phone. And I felt terrible after he left. I didn't know. What was I going to do? Run down the street and offer him a £5?
No.
No, of course not.
No.
I'm not made of money. I just spent it on my TV.
Yeah, I got no money, mate.
No.
I just spent it all on this. I had to clean out my jar, everything, the drawers.
Yeah, I had to take some bottles back.
The
problem was, it took me forever to wire it in. I thought, I'm not going to pay for someone to wire it up, you know. So it took me about 3 hours to wire it in, and it was huge, and I got it switched on. And the first programme that was on when I got it wired in was Bargain Hunt. I'll tell you this, David Dickinson's tan almost took my eyeballs out. It was incredible. It was like X-rays.
So close. I know, a huge plasma screen with this orange thing coming out, and he keeps turning to the camera, doesn't he? Just to get you. Yeah, he turns away. You get a bit closer. They go, "What's he doing?" He just turns around, takes the cornea off.
What do you think, Bargain Hunt? Bargain Hunt.
Oh dear, that's why I'd buy a plasma screen to watch Bargain Hunt.
I mean, it's good because this is the problem. Is because Okay, I think it's probably time. Let me just check my watch. Yeah, it's Monkey News time.
Oh, chimpanzee that Monkey News, yeah.
Right, last week we talked about, the one who was good at getting up buildings and that for, putting out fires and stuff, ended up working for the fire department.
Yeah, not true, but sure.
But if the building had good grippage, he was right up there.
Yeah, it's not true, but go on.
So this week, anyway, it's more about tall buildings and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It was this bloke who was a builder.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And you know what builders are like. They sort of move about, don't they, from sort of building to building, just building.
Well, yeah, once they've built it, the building's done and they move on to build some more.
Building to building, just building, yeah.
So he goes to his next job and that, right?
Who does, the builder?
The builder.
Yep.
He goes to, like, the boss of this building, who's building it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And he says what unto him?
Do you need anything building?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, he says, yeah, there's plenty of work and that going about.
Yep.
He says, we're working on this one here. He said, get going on it, like, there's your bricks and your cement and stuff, get on with it.
Yeah.
Any plans? Just build.
Just start building.
Yeah. Go up.
They're getting on with it and stuff, it's all going well.
Yep.
But he notices that there's someone working high up. Right, on the top bit.
Sure.
Because do you know, like, there's girders and stuff on these big buildings?
Yeah. And he's still building the bottom bit,
and
which
he's
is weird.
Yeah, well, that's the way they do it there, apparently, just to sort of speed it up, work from top to middle, from top to bottom.
Sure, that's in imaginary land.
We put the spire on, now we better do the foundations, and then put some stuff in the middle to keep it up there.
So anyway, he's saying to, like, the other workers, he's going, who's that up there?
Who's that up there?
He's working on his own.
The little fella, was he?
And
the little hairy fella up there.
He's the little hairy fella up there with the hard hat.
And the other fellas were going, look, don't ask questions, the boss decides who he takes on, we're happy to be getting paid here.
Don't ask questions! Yeah. Well, I'll see him when he comes down.
So he said, well, he's pretty impressive, the work rate he's doing, the way he's getting from one girder to the other.
He's swinging, is he?
He doesn't seem to be scared of the heights or anything. He said, no, just let him get on with it, we work well as a team. So anyway.
What nonsense is this? So he believes all this.
Yep. So he sees the boss and he goes, that fella up there, who's the fella up there? He's pretty good. And he's like, look, just get on with the job, I'll pay you, let's just all get on with our jobs. Like. Lunchtime comes, they're all sat on a little wall, having the sandwiches, just thinking he'll come down in a bit. He's just carrying on.
Is he just still going?
Still going on that, right? So the fella says to the boss man, he says, isn't that fella up there going to come down and join us for lunch? He said, like I said, mate, don't worry about him, right? He said,
very secret. I'm suspicious about this fella. I don't know why he's working through his lunch. I don't know why he's not scared of heights. I don't know why he's swinging from girder to girder. It's weird. Go on.
So he said, oh, anyway, you've reminded me that he's up there. He said he's doing a lot of riveting and stuff up there. You probably need some more nuts to...
Right, sure. And what kind of nuts is that? Is that nuts to food, or...?
So he said, what, nuts? He said, yeah, just, there's a bag full of them there. Just put them on the hook, send them up, and he can get on with his job. So anyway, he picks these nuts up, right? Yep. Just hooks them on. He thinks they're not that heavy, considering, I mean, they're normally pretty heavy, aren't they? Like nuts and bolts and stuff. Yeah. So anyway, he has a little glance in.
Oh, no, what's in there?
Nuts.
What, you mean nuts that you can eat?
Nuts that you can eat. Right? So they send the bag up, and he's thinking, what's all that about? He checks him out, starts to stare, works it out. You can see that he's a little chimp running about. So he goes, I'm not happy with this.
Why isn't he?
Because he's working for an organisation that's, there's unions for this sort of stuff, isn't there?
Yeah, he's not going, that's amazing. They've got a chimp riveting this building together. Yeah, that's not scary. He's wondering if they're breaking union rules.
So he goes to the boss and he goes, look, I've worked out what you're playing at here.
Yeah.
He said, all them
Is the boss sitting in a tyre?
He said, all them lot out there might not be wise to what's going on here. He said, but I've clocked it, and you're sending nuts up to it. It's a monkey, it's not on. So he goes, look, we're just all trying to earn a living here. He said, don't get involved in it. I'm happy to pay you, but I'm paying him. Don't interfere.
He's paying him?
And he's saying, look, I'm just not happy with this. It's not allowed. So the boss was saying, well...
We pay peanuts, mate, we get monkeys.
He said, to be honest, mate, he's a great worker. He's known for doing what he does. He's a good grafter. If one of you's going to go, right, I'm afraid I'll have to let you go, because he's been here longer than that.
Yeah.
He was made redundant.
None of that happened.
He was laid off.
None of that happened.
He's laid off and that. And that's where that's saying about, like there's a lot of tower blocks and that in America. It's like the chimp off the old block is where... So that's monkey news.
I think this is an example of you, Karl, is you give up too easy.
Yeah,
you took up the box and you gave that up straight away.
You think there's no point in anything?
I did Crusaders for I think I lasted that out for about 4 weeks.
What's Crusaders?
Well, he was my mate, right? He was religious, and I'm not really. But
no, I mean you believe in ghosts though and shadows pushing people off bikes. But go on.
But it's the same time. I think I told you once before that I went to the church with this lad because I swore, and he said he was going to tell me dad.
Yeah.
I was effing and jeffing. So he said, if you're
Is that how they get people to church nowadays?
I love that little kid. He hasn't got the idea of the protection game. There's nothing in it for him. Either you turn to religion or I tell your father.
Right. So I went to church with him and that, and then the next week he said, I know that was rubbish and you didn't enjoy it. It's when I got kicked out for messing with a tennis ball in the pews. Right.
I don't think we've heard that, but I don't think we could possibly go into that now.
Summed it up.
Yeah.
So
well, no,
come on. We'll come back to that. You had a tennis ball and some pubes.
No, in the pews.
In the pews, right. Yeah. But anyway, so I went there and I said, I don't think much of this church thing. It's a bit boring.
Sorry. And so you went to church and you ended up in the Crusades.
No, it's called the Crusaders. What it is, it's meant to be the fun part of religion for kids. Right. And my mate said, oh, you want to come along? It's, you go on a Friday night and do it on a Sunday as well. Right, so I went on the Friday night. It was brilliant. They had Sabutio. Table tennis in this dead big old house.
And what do they do at the end? Say, I hope you enjoy yourself. Remember, God gave you all this.
Well, it's sort of, enjoy the simple things in life. You don't need computer games. You can play table tennis and that, and talk with your friends.
Yeah.
And blah blah blah. So yeah, that's all right.
I think you'd be happy in a young offenders institution. You get to clean the toilets there.
But don't forget, Karl, I think God invented Nintendo too.
Right. Well, anyway, so that was alright. I loved it on the Friday.
Yeah.
And my mate said if you go for 4 weeks in a row without missing a day, you get a free badge.
And salvation.
I don't like all this sort of being stuck in stuff. Do you know what I mean? That's
don't get tied down.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, every day. Yeah. Right, so, anyway, so you've got to come again on Sunday, so I thought, well, we'll have another game of table tennis, it'll be alright.
Yeah.
So anyway, I go on the Sunday.
Who was this servant of God?
Right. I go on the Sunday, it's like a totally different club, there's no table tennis.
That's how they trick you.
No Sabutio.
Yeah.
They start handing out Bibles.
Oh.
And
it's like a timeshare
thing. Hang on a minute, right?
They trick you.
So I didn't go again on Sundays. I used to just go on the Friday.
Just go on the Friday. Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah. I'm amazed no one else saw through that.
Well, the thing is, there used to be loads there on the Friday, so I thought they won't even notice that I'm not, like, do you know what I mean? That I'm not showing up on a Sunday. So anyway, carried on. It was
just this kid in the vicar.
Oh, I love that. You got one over on the church.
So I was loving it, right? Playing table tennis and that. And then on a Sunday, they found out where I live, and the head fella started coming round, knocking on the door.
God.
He's everywhere, Rick.
Why did he knock?
The fella...
Politeness.
The fella who, like, ran the club, he started coming around knocking on the door. And I saw him coming up the path, and I said to my mum, "Oh, it's the fella from the Crusaders." Yeah. She didn't even know what I was.
No, she thought you were off nicking hubcaps and stealing cars.
She didn't have a clue what I was talking about.
You've been going to church. I don't believe it.
Little bleeder. That's not how we brought you up.
So I said, "Look, just tell him I'm not in. Tell him I'm not in." And then she had to keep doing this, and they were coming round every Sunday to try and make me, like, go on a Sunday. It was really important that I went and that I was abusing the system and all this. Anyway, I didn't go. And then...
Why didn't they just tell you on next time we turned up on a Friday?
No, well, because there was so many people there on a Friday, you just get mixed in the crowd.
Yeah.
Right? It was jammed. It was well popular on a Friday.
Yeah.
Right? But anyway, on one of the Sundays, it was quiet for a bit, and they stopped coming round. So I thought, right, I can go out again, right, on a Sunday, because I used to avoid hanging around the house.
What sort of reign of terror is
incredible?
Right. So I thought,
it's like the Spanish Inquisition.
So I thought, great, they forgot about me.
Yeah.
Everything, I can carry on in sort of normal life now.
Yeah.
And I was playing out in the avenue. Fella comes round. And he goes, "There you are. You know, you're always busy on a Sunday. You enjoy Fridays and that, don't you?" I was like, yeah. He goes, "Well, come on, you've got to come with me." And I couldn't get out of it. No. You know what I mean? It's like, what could I say?
Charlie says.
Right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, he nearly killed me in a car crash. So that was the excuse I used next time. He had a Mini, right? And he was driving us there, and he hit the curb, nearly sort of turned over the Mini. Right? There was like 3 of us in the back. So I said...
Is that a record?
So... Next time, he came round to pick us up, I said, "Look, really enjoyed it and that." I said, "But ever since that journey, I really, you know, I don't want to get in the car with you again because it scared me a bit." And I said, "All right then, I didn't have to go again."
That's all right, isn't it?
That's extraordinary. Yeah. He almost killed you in a car crash.
It's a parable. Thank God no one was hurt.
Yeah.
I remember that
your life moves in incredible ways.
Yeah.
Rather like God.
Yeah. So they're probably round there now, aren't they? Is he coming tomorrow? Sweet Thing. David Bowie.
Beautiful.
Amazing, off Diamond Dogs.
Absolutely.
We went to see him in the week, didn't we?
We did indeed, yeah. This little exclusive
tiny
gig that Jonathan also
100 people.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely to see him.
Yeah, lovely to see him again.
Lovely to see Dave again.
Yeah.
No, he's looking good.
He looks great, doesn't he?
He was, yeah. Was he bisexual? Sorry, I don't know why I'm
sorry, at the gig?
No, it's just the fact, because I know he's married now, isn't he, with a kid and stuff.
Yeah.
But there was some sort of...
Oh, I think, possibly, I don't know, I wouldn't want to...
These pop stars, they dabble with anything, don't they, I suppose? Try anything once, don't they, these rock and roll stars?
But, yeah, so, if anyone knows the truth behind sumo...
Yeah, well, how does sumo begin? Because that's what I've never understood how it began as a sport, because it's... Do you know what I mean? Because they are so huge.
Well, I reckon it was a fat bloke who was picking on a little skinny bloke, and the skinny bloke knew kung fu and so he goes, "Right, let's fight." And the fat bloke, no punching.
Yeah.
And what do you mean? He went, "It's just leaning against each other."
Yeah.
And they went, "Well, you're bound to win." And then went, "Right, I've won." It went, "Bloke, okay."
Yeah.
And that's how it started. And the fat bloke,
he grabbed him. Are you wearing a nappy? Well, I'm pretty big, yeah. I'm having problems now. I can't wipe my ass.
I can't wear a tuxedo. I just can't.
Exactly.
I just, that's the next step for... John has been banned wearing a thong in public. So...
But seriously, if anyone knows how sumo began, I'm genuinely interested. Email maybe, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Just, because Carl, what are your thoughts? Where do you think it began? Because don't you think it's an odd sport? I mean, it is a weird...
They've always got nice hair. They seem to care about the hair a bit.
Sure.
So he's sort of nicely pinned back.
Yeah.
Are you ever asked when people are doing like Sharma's Britain, or people are doing like big
historical programs.
They say, well, we'll ask Carl about this. He might have an opinion.
Yeah.
They've got.
I'd like to see you as a pundit, definitely on those kind of on Newsnight.
It's just that I think it's a funny one because the whole idea of sport is to keep fit.
Yeah.
And that's sort of. It's a bit of an odd one, isn't it?
Well, it's the same as sort of like weightlifting. You have to go through all that all year to see if you can push up you know, something heavier than someone else, but you have to walk round in a golf buggy to you know, for that one, and take steroids and.
But I mean, look, the other day, you know, I don't do much sport. I think living in London, there's not that many areas you can go and. Actually, I'm probably wrong there.
Well, there's all the gyms and sports clubs and stuff.
I'm probably wrong on that bit.
And the roads.
But look how like excited I was going round to your place, Ricky, and you had like a little garden.
Yeah.
I haven't got a garden.
We played football, didn't we?
And we had a little. Well, I did.
No, you were rubbish. I beat you in penalties, 5-2, and then I beat you on knockout, I think 10-4, and he always makes an excuse. He goes, "No, start again. We didn't say that." I'm cracking up.
So, have you seen Ricky play football?
No, I've not really seen either.
Right,
play football.
It's not football. You sort of do it like it's like when you get a cat and you chuck it some wool. You sort of jump on it and lie on top of it so you can't get it, and then sort of kick it with his feet, lying on the floor.
Really? No, what I mean is, he fouled me, and I was on one.
Are you sure he didn't just collapse because of all the stress and the exercise?
That's the other thing.
He just tumbled on the floor, Stilton poured out of his mouth.
I was too strong for him.
No.
I was too strong for you.
Yeah, but you didn't last long, did you? It was like if football
I didn't want to last long.
Matches went
they just bring me on for the first 10 minutes.
Who suggested you two play football? Did you suggest this, Rick?
Yeah, we went around there. Yeah, we had to go and football in the garden. Yeah. What else do we do?
I just had a look at your salamander.
Right, is that euphemism or? Because I know that when I first went to your house, you used to show your genitals to people a lot more than you do now. You definitely used to do that. You used to think that was hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is that you get to a certain age, men of a certain ilk get to a certain age and just
got it out, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, when Ross came in, he did the same.
Yeah.
It's that weird.
Yeah, I suppose. I thought, you've seen it now. I thought you've seen it. You know, you weren't impressed the first time, to be quite honest, Steve.
With you.
So,
yeah. No, it's it's nice. Always a treat to see.
Yeah.
What do you make of Ricky's place? What do you make of it?
Again, that's not a euphemism. It doesn't mean that it's like a flat fish.
Yeah.
Do you want to see my place? There it is.
It's all right. I mean,
you've seen better.
The pictures you've got on the wall. I'm not keen on the same sort of art as you are.
Right.
What sort of art? Because yours is quite sort of modern art.
He's got this big bit of
abstract
canvas with just loads of dark colours on it.
Yeah.
It looks really miserable.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, it sort of brings the place down. If you're going to sell it, that woman on Channel 5, the house doctor, if she came round, she'd say, "Take that down, and I'll get double for it." It's just, I thought it was like a wall.
Take that down, get that salamander out, and just pop those back in your trousers.
Yeah.
It was like he didn't know what sort of colour to use on the wall, so he's like been putting a little bit on. No, that's not good. I'll use like a bit of a darker colour. Yeah. And it's just loads of different.
Are you Brian Sewell? Because you're just saying.
So what kind of art do you like? I'm intrigued.
Yeah,
I like
Athena.
I like Lowry.
Larry, the worst painter in the world. The most overrated.
You see, it depends. You're getting excited about your stuff you've got on. Lowry, right?
Yeah.
You can look at.
He really is the Brian and Michael.
No. But it's real, isn't it? Right?
What do you mean it's real?
It's real. You look at his picture and you see like little disabled people walking about. You see kids playing with like footballs. You've got your dad coming home from work, working in the factory. Got a little dog barking. It's life, right? And you can look at it like 10 minutes, go away, go and watch telly or something for a bit, go back to it, and you'll see different things in it.
Really? What is it, like one of those magic eyes?
You sure that's not a telly?
Yeah, you've been looking out the window, Carl.
You sure you weren't watching When the Boat Comes In?
People will agree with me. It's better than your stuff that you
buy. This show started off slick. Yeah. We had something to say.
No, what are you talking about? We're now discussing art.
We were taking the big out of fat people, and now
now you've taken it all highbrow, Carl.
Play a record. We'll come back to fatties. Okay then, well, you're going to hate this then. I've brought in the concise Oxford Dictionary of Quotations. Now, just look at some of your favourites. I'd suggest going straight to things like Wilde, or Newton, or Churchill, or
you're a big fan of Churchill?
Yeah, well, he's the boy. Yeah, right, okay, let's go through that old Kramer, blah, blah. Newton, right, right, here's a famous one, okay? This is Isaac Newton. If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants.
Do you like that one?
So there's a meaning in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he hasn't actually stood on the shoulders of giants.
So remember, he's an amazing inventor and mathematician, and he discovered the incredible laws of the universe, and he's saying, yeah,
If you want a good view, move into a multi-story.
He's saying, right? He's saying, if I have seen further than the people, and he's being modest here, it's because I've stood on the shoulders of giants to get that view.
If it weren't for all the people that have come before him with their great insight and knowledge, he wouldn't have seen what he's seen.
He's taken his learnings, and those people have given
Why
him
just say that? Instead of making up, that's what I've got a problem with. People don't say what they mean.
Poetry, art, and
in life though, people never say what they actually mean, and you know, there's loads of books on it. I don't know.
But the point is that he's just summarised quite a tricky idea beautifully.
It's beautiful. That gets into you much deeper than just the words, than just the literal words, you know what I mean?
One of my favourites is from an American novelist, and the quote is, talking about the subject of fame and being famous, fame is a mask that eats into the face. Don't you think that's amazing?
Meaning?
Well, meaning that fame is something that is artificial, that you wear initially, you become famous, but it's ethereal, it's nothing, it's intangible, it's just an artifice. But if you stay famous long enough, you begin to think that mask you're wearing is really your real face. So that you begin to, you know, think that you are more than you perhaps are. Do you see what I mean? In the way that fame and power can corrupt.
Oh, who said that?
No, it's an American novelist, I forget his name.
Yeah, it's alright, yeah, there's something in that.
Yeah.
Pick another one, right?
Yeah, let's have a look. Bernard Shaw, he's no slouch.
I think maybe when you take this book of quotations home, Carl, you should maybe just draw up maybe a list of 3 or 4 of your favourites and tell them next week.
I want to do Shaw, Wilde, I look at Shakespeare as well, you know, he's...
What, are you a fan of Shakespeare?
No.
Go on, what's your problem with it?
Just, the way they speak. I can't follow it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like West Side Story?
It's really old as well. I can't relate to it. It's like years and years ago, isn't it? That's why I like Churchill, because
1940s.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is Shaw. Okay. There are 2 tragedies in life. One is not to get your heart's desire. The other is to get it.
Again, how would you see that in your little?
Well, that's one homework then. I'll mark that. That's your homework. You got to work that out. You've got to tell me what you think of it.
Say again?
Don't ask Suzanne. It's there. All right. There are 2 tragedies in life. One is not to get your heart's desire. The other is to get it. Okay? Take that home with you, and we'll be hearing Karl come up with some amazing quotations next week.
Yeah, pick out your favourites.
Now I'd like to play a song for the lovers while he's thinking.
No, I don't think we've got the lovers lined up.
Oh, what have we got?
Bit of hip-hop. It's hip-hop hooray.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, everyone's a big fan. I played something from this last week. It's this new album from Nerd, In Search Of. It's been re-recorded by the lads, I don't know why. And anyway, it's particularly good. We played last week Things Are Getting Better. This is the one we have played in the past, actually. Bobby James.
Doves, there goes The Fear on XFM 104.9. Well, just read that book anyway. Can I just say, this is one of a beautiful, is Keats, right? What do you think of this? A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness.
See, this is just like how it was at school now. The last couple of weeks I've been quite interested in what you've been giving me. Now it's really like,
okay.
I really don't care.
Now what about this? Now I did philosophy, and philosophy is obviously the quest for knowledge. And look, listen to this though. This is what Keats came out with. Philosophy will clip an angel's wings. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Don't be constrained by what's, dream a little. You know what I mean? Just go beyond. I don't agree with it, but it's a lovely bit of poetry.
Yes.
Yeah? So you're gonna read that for me, are you, Karl? Yeah?
Yeah. Just pick out 5 of your favourites.
Yeah.
The ones that mean something to you.
And then next week I'll bring you in pictures of animals.
Brilliant.
Okay?
We'll do it.
Okay, and some sweets.
Electronic, getting away with it.
Definitely. Do you reckon we'll get away with it, you see? You've worried me now.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's worried me.
My apologies, if you're offended at all by my reference to those little wooden shoes. That's not going to help, Rick. That Chinese women used to wear. I don't know if they still wear them.
We've only had one complaint, haven't we? We got from the Sonys, that one about talking about the swan's penis. But you know, things about complaints is people complain all the time. It's whether it's upheld because it goes from authority, and then they have to go, oh yeah, look, that was in poor taste or pre-watershed or
some of the things you said on TV though, you must have been stung.
But see, I've only had one upheld, one serious slap on the wrist for something I said. But
what was he say? Can you repeat it?
Well, I can. I was talking about, and it was a true story. I was talking about this little old man who his daughter was taking him to home because he used to fry up bacon and rub it round his to get the dog to lick them.
Right. And you got a complaint.
Yeah.
What? And that was it. That's why you got a complaint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Well, you said it on Songs of Praise.
They said it was in poor taste, I suppose.
What other complaints?
You know the biggest complaint ever on TV, the most complaints ever for anything on TV, was the showing of The Last Temptation of Christ.
Yeah.
Do you know the second? Yeah, the second was I think Anne Robinson putting the Welsh into room 101.
What? Because she didn't like him and that.
Yeah, she just said, well, they're going in the, you know.
She said it slightly more eloquently than that.
Yes, yeah.
I can the people or the place?
I don't know.
I think it was the place and therefore the people.
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah?
No, well, you know, my mum and dad have sort of moved from Manchester. They reside now in Wales.
Oh, yeah.
And it is...
Look at his face, turning his nose up.
No, but it is pretty depressing. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of them places that... it's like you go back in time and that when you go there. I mean, maybe the major cities there, maybe Cardiff is alright.
What, even coming from Manchester, it's like going back in time?
It's just... it's like one of them places that it feels like every day is Sunday. Do you know what I mean? It's just depressing and grey and slate
Lots
everywhere.
Lots of walking around going, I'm late.
Well, yeah, it is the sort of attitude they have, right? This is true, because my mum and dad live there and that, right? And they love it, it's alright, it's an healthy place to go when you get older and that. But, this is why they don't move on in Wales.
Well, I'd just like to make another... Sorry to any Welsh people listening, we're not saying you don't move on. Carl is.
No, but...
Sorry about the little Chinese shoes again.
The thing is, it's good that, in a way, that they do that, and they don't want to be, like, you know, rushing about everywhere, because the way London isn't that great either, is it? Because it's totally opposite here, right? Yeah. So I'm not having a go. It is a bit dull. I think even people who live there will agree with me, right? But, like, one of the shops that my mum and dad use, right, it's only a little sort of villagey type shop, they can't be bothered staying open for hours and hours, right? Because there's not enough people use the shop.
Yeah.
So what you do is, they get used to what you buy, and
leave it out.
They put it in a phone box outside.
They put it in a phone box?
Yeah.
So it doesn't get wet.
So my dad's loving that.
Well,
Once he found that out, it was like, brilliant.
But how is that a bad thing? That's brilliant.
Well, it's not. For other people, it is for my dad, because he's picking up all sorts of stuff.
Oh, no, he's not!
Oh, yeah.
He's not nicking other people's shopping.
Well, it's not like nicking, is it? Because it's not theirs yet.
Oh! And you've stitched him up on radio.
Well, of course, because they're going to think, who is there in town with a Manc accent?
Who keeps making phone calls. And is getting fatter.
Yeah.
That's
you stitched it
I
right
love
up
that.
there,
I
Carl.
love that your dad was excited when he found out.
Oh.
I can't believe that he's moved there. He's retired to this little village where it's based on trust and community, and he is abusing it. He's using his scally Manc ways.
Bloody hell, Lakers, there's no bread again.
There's old women going hungry.
Yeah.
Their cats aren't getting fed, and your father is just... I can't... That's obscene. That's obscene.
Oh, I think it's Die Thief. That fella from Manchester.
I don't even think they've got Sky there yet, have they? They can't listen. They won't know what's...
I think you stitched him right up. I hope you have, actually. I hope he goes down for it. I hope he's hounded out of the community like Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
They should get burning torches, go up to the mansion.
Set fire to his cottage.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right, well...
He's out of the choir.
Yeah.
How's it come to this?
The streets.
Yeah.
Original pirate material. You're listening to the streets. Lock down your aerial. How's it come to this?
Electric Soft Parade on XFM 104.9. Not long to go. a triumphant return. I think. I think the papers would be saying, Steve.
Yes.
Karl. I met Karl a couple of times in our sabbatical, and he said to me once. He said, "Oysters." So I said, "Have you ever tried oysters?" I don't like them. And I went. He said, "Oh, it's just a thing about swallowing them whole." You know. He went, "Well, the reason you have to do that is because they're fatally poisonous, and if you bite into them, they kill you." And I went, "Well, of course they don't." He went, "Yeah." I went, "Well, of course they wouldn't." "What have you chewed on its out?" He said, "No." I said, "Well, so you swallow them whole and they're not poisonous?" He went, "Yeah, see." He said, he said, when you swallow heroin in a Johnny, he says, that doesn't kill you, does it? That was it.
Oh.
And then, about a week later, he went, "I was wrong about them." Yeah, I went, well, he said, yeah. And what did you say?
It's if you eat them and then you have some whiskey.
They turn deadly when whiskey comes into contact with them.
Yeah, when they've had a drink.
When they have a drink, they get a bit rowdy in your stomach. They start fighting, they can cause
hilarious.
So what are you saying now? Are you saying you don't believe that?
Am I saying what?
Are you saying you don't believe
that? He thinks he's got us here. He thinks he's got us here. Yeah, I don't believe that if you eat an oyster, then drink some whiskey, you die.
You might not die straight away, but you won't.
Eventually, 50 years time.
If you've got to keep on drinking whiskey.
Yeah, 50,
a bottle a day.
50 or 60 years later, he was dead. Yeah. Oyster and a bottle of whiskey a day. Oh, then out of nowhere, 40 years later.
Where does this information come from, Karl?
If some doctor called up now, and put you right, would you believe him?
If it wasn't Dr. Fox, yeah.
What about the airy lads growing up with the werewolves and that?
They didn't grow up with werewolves.
Grow up with werewolves.
You've confused about three different
stories. Just a genetic mutation where they were born with very, very hirsute.
There were a couple of kids, yes.
They didn't grow up with wolves, and you can't kill them with a silver bullet. I mean, you're confusing two things.
There were some kids who were very, very hairy, yes. Yeah. They're in folklore. There were some kids who grew up with wolves, yes. I don't think the two are connected.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as werewolves, Karl.
You
believe me, I saw a documentary on it on the History Channel. You'd have loved it.
You grew up with a magpie. You know, you don't flap around, do you, and steal people's jewellery.
What was the thing you told me about snails?
Have you ever had any post that looks like it's been opened?
Occasionally, yeah.
Alright, well, what it is, it's not your postman having a
sneaky look.
A sneaky look. Problem is,
right,
slugs.
The problem's slugs.
Slugs at night, they like nipping about and that, and it gets a bit cold. And in London, like in the country, they go into the grass, don't they?
Right.
But in London, it's like, oh, what can we do? And they go in letterboxes.
Slugs go in letterboxes.
Get in letterboxes. It's nice and warm in there, dry and what have you. And
these are homeless slugs, aren't they? The ones that have lost their shell.
When they're in there, they only found out that they love glue. They've been eating the glue off the stamps.
Right.
And people have been getting charged for post because it hasn't had stamps on it. It's like, well, they put a stamp on it. Yeah. It's like slugs have been eating it.
Sure.
And they also eat the glue that's on the actual envelope shutter. And it's a real popular problem, this, that letters are being lost and opened and all that stuff. Yeah. Slugs.
Are slugs like stealing postal orders and things and cashing them in and stuff?
Yeah, again, you know, if there's a doctor, if there's a postman.
Yeah.
Well, with us two expert witnesses, a doctor and a postman. So postage is a real problem.
When we see a slug's trail or a snail's trail,
it's glue.
That's the glue they've stolen, is it? That's a little.
I'm not going to say yes to that because I'm not sure.
But we could follow that trail and find them, and they'd have a big sort of
big pile of letters.
Our stamps and
there they are,
like birthday cards from our aunts.
But £2 notes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Wow. Slugs.
Wow.
So, oysters and whiskey kill you, and slugs.
Be very careful if you're going to go out this evening. You're thinking of having a whiskey, maybe some oysters. Be very, very careful.
Yeah, and if you are going to post a letter, please do not use tasty glue.
Okay, anyway, Karl, here we go. It's an exciting feature that I think will be picked up by Channel 5. It's going to be Karl Pilkington, Do We Need Him? Where Karl goes around checking out animals with top experts, asking whether we need them in the world.
Yeah. So this is the first one. We won't do it next week, but I'm already sorting out the contact. We will be looking at octopus, because they're a bit weird. So that's what you got to look forward to in 20,
Again, if you have an animal that you feel is unnecessary in the world, then email us, and I'm sure Carl will investigate for you.
Well, the other thing as well, whilst we're on to that, I want to sort of have a bit of research with me. So when I speak to the bloke or the woman about the octopus, right? I want
you want to be armed with the facts.
Well, sort of response from listeners, so I can say, well, 70% of XFM listeners said we should get rid of them.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like Jon Snow does on Channel 4 when he does all, politics stuff. So, if you agree with me, just send an email saying yes.
Well, so yes, we should get rid of them.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, get rid of them. Because the house believes always we should get rid of these animals. You're picking animals you want to get rid of. So yes is, get rid of them. No is, don't get rid of them.
Well, and not no, it's Noah, because they go on the Ark. The ones we keep go on the Ark.
That element I'd completely forgotten about, and I think that's a wise move, because I don't think that's working. I don't think you've thought through the whole Noah. So that's just complicating the show, I think.
So yes, we get rid of them. Noah, they're saved on the Ark.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so here we go then, jellyfish.
So today we're looking at jellyfish in Pilkington. I'm talking to Vicky, who works in an aquarium in Anglesey, isn't it?
Yes, it is, yes.
Right, brilliant. Today we want to find out if we really need jellyfish. I've got a bit of a problem with them anyway, because I've been stung by one, and I've done a little bit of research into them, so I'll tell you what I know about them.
Okay.
You might learn some stuff from me.
Oh, you never know.
And if I'm talking nonsense, just tell me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right, so first of all, they don't have eyes, do they?
No, they don't.
Right,
no.
So I'm right with that. No lungs.
No lungs.
They haven't got a heart.
No hearts, heartless.
And they're made up of 97% water.
Yes, they are.
So they're pretty useless, really.
Well, they have got a nervous system. They're actually about 650 million years old, so they've evolved and they've outlived the dinosaurs, and they're even older than the sharks, and they can even outfox us, because NASA scientists have worked with them to try and work out how they operate in weightlessness, and they still don't know how they do that. Took them into space, actually, to figure out how they did that.
Seems like a bit of a waste of money, but... do you know Port Maddock? I used to go there a lot for my holidays, and there used to be a load of them washed up on the beach. People on motorbikes used to go over them and stuff.
Yeah. Well, we get the moon jellyfish. That's the ones with they've got pink bits in the middle.
Yeah,
that's their reproductive bodies.
I think that was them. I think they're the ones who went over on the bike because you could see pink bits. What do they do? If the jellyfish went, would we have a problem on our hands, do you think?
Okay. You might have a bit of a knock-on effect, because things like turtles eat jellyfish.
Yeah, but do we need turtles?
Well, don't forget that when you take out something from the marine system, something normally feeds on. I mean, they're not just there for the fun of it. Something either feeds on it or feeds on what they excrete.
What you're saying is they exist to sort of feed others and also to eat some stuff that's
well, yeah, they control the population of other fish and species that might otherwise be a problem.
Okay, well, let's kind of wrap this up, right? The question that I'm asking today is, do we need them? Say if Noah had his ark, right? You've swum and got on the boat, you're alright, you're safe, he's going to keep you to sort of populate the world as well. Right, so it's you and him. He's not a bad-looking fella, so you're happy.
Yeah.
He says to you, Vicky, do we need him?
Absolutely.
I don't even know why she even gave you that interview. When you start off with, right, trying to find out if I need you, but what did you tell her to get her to talk to you?
Just said I'm doing some research on stuff.
Did she think you were a schoolboy or something?
No, she just said, oh, all right. She said, you know, how long will it go on? I said, not long, just like 5 minutes, have a quick chat. And she loved it, didn't she? She sounded happy to take part in that.
So the fact that you've got an expert and you suggest that she's going to be having sex with Noah. He's a good fella, so you're happy. She goes, yeah. I mean, I don't know why you stopped there. Didn't go into positions or something. I can't believe.
The problem is, really, I didn't get to the bottom of what I wanted to say because.
Oh no, you did. That's it. That's done now. That's a pretty good academic work. That's proved. Yeah.
No, but the turtle thing, you know, when she said, "Oh, if you get rid of them, the turtles, you know, won't have anything to eat." But when she said that, I mean, I couldn't say it because it would have took her off and confused her. But
well, like, she's a scientist. She's easily confused.
Well, say like when Suzanne is working, right? I'm not a very good cook, so I always get like an Indian in. Right.
What? To do the cooking for you?
So, right, I'm an Indian. Right, now say if, for some reason it closed, I get a Chinese. So why don't the turtle just... There's loads of stuff in the sea. But I didn't want to get too heavy on her, but...
it's pretty deep.
Oh, that is genius.
But we'll look at.
But so the fact that she said yes, you need jellyfish. Does that mean that you've changed your? I mean, what I'm saying is, does her answer go? Does that stand?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
it does. Does it?
It does. Yeah. Whatever I get the expert to say, I try and get them in a corner.
Right. You try and argue them into a corner.
Argue them into a corner, but that time she wasn't having any of it, so we've got to carry on having them.
Yeah.
So in the new year we'll be looking at octopus.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, great. Good place to feed her.
And Rockbusters, Steve, if you've got a better competition, then we'll do yours. That's fine. Do you know what I mean? If that's what you want to do, we'll do. What did you want to do?
No, I was just wondering whether we should perhaps not do a quiz at all, rather than do that piece of rubbish. Might be better to have nothing. Might be better just to have silence during that part of the show than have Rockbusters. I don't know. If we discuss it,
if I give you the clues and that, and if you think they sound rubbish, we're not doing it.
Well, I know that. I guarantee they're going to sound rubbish. All right, let's make it the last Rockbusters then. This is the last Rockbusters.
Well, it depends. This is okay. This is just. If it's good, you get a reprieve. It's all about this. Okay.
Okay.
Go on then, let's do Rockbusters then.
Oh, we're doing it now?
Should we play record and do it after that?
Do it after. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll tell you the prizes and then we'll come back with the clues.
Because I've dug up that REM track.
Excellent.
So it's an interactive show.
Okay, we've got the best summer holiday album ever. What we got on there? It's got Elvis versus Junkie XL. That's brilliant. Holly Valance is on there.
Yeah.
Laz Ketchup. It's all the stuff that the XFM listener is craving. Tribute to the Ramones album. We got... Red Hot Chili Peppers are on there, Metallica. Street Legal from Bob Dylan, that's nice.
Brilliant.
Did you just buy that in the 4 for £20 from HMV deal? Fair enough. Once again,
a good album.
The Talons of Weng Chiang, a Doctor Who classic. And there's something for the XFM listener, 8 Mile on DVD.
I thought that was nice, that film. That was the last bit was funny. It was it's a good film.
Anyway, listen, Rockbusters.
Oh, come on then.
Let's get it done.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on then.
Right, so cryptic clues and initials, you work it out, it's a band and stuff.
Yeah.
Right,
Brilliant.
First one.
Bob Holness.
The first clue, the doctor said part of the foot and the leg was no good, so he took him off and he threw him away. Right, that's the clue, the initials TB. TB, right? The doctor said part of the foot and the leg was no good, so he took them off and threw them away. Second one. The Scottish Monster has got a bit of a tan. Right? The Scottish Monster has got a bit of a tan.
Okay.
That's TD, right? And the last one. Well, the 60s singer had a heart attack whilst he was having it away. We won't be seeing him again. Right? And that's FNM. FNM. Well, the 60s singer's had a heart attack. He was having it away. We won't be seeing him again. Email in ricky.gervais.
Remember, this is to save Rockbusters. If people don't get this, right, it's no more. So you better, if you want this to feature this day, you better get the clues. Right. It's the Rockbusters results, really, because this is and a very important result. It's whether they stay in the Premiership or are relegated. This is the playoffs for Karl. Okay. You need 3 points. You need 3 points to stay up, Karl. Go on.
Right, got a lot of right answers in that.
Right, okay, that's in your favour. You know. Okay.
The first clue was the doctor said part of the foot and the leg was no good, so he took them off, he threw them away.
Yeah.
The initials TB.
Yeah.
Right?
Go on.
Tony Bennett. Alright, that's Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett.
Tony Bennett.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a warning. That's a yellow card. That is a yellow card, but you can still get the points.
Right.
Because his name's not Bennett. Tony, brilliant. Tony, perfect. A pun. Knee, his name's Tony. Perfect. Bennett, no, his name's Bennett. See?
Well, he's in London this week as well, so I don't know if it's sold out. I won't mind.
Are you on drugs, or have you? Did I actually crack your head? Did I actually give you some brain damage? Because you're worse than usual now. It's like, go on.
Right, the second one. That Scottish fella.
We've got to speed this show up.
Hang on a minute, hang on. I've just got to make sure it's right. We don't want to look stupid. That Scottish monster has got a bit of a tan.
I don't think we can look stupid with material like this.
TD. That Scottish monster's got a bit of a tan. The answer there, the Darkness.
I'll give you that.
Right.
Well done.
And the last one.
Goal.
The 60s singer, he had a heart attack the other way whilst having it away. You won't be seeing him again. The initials FNM. That's Faith No More. Adam Faith. Right?
No! Doesn't count!
Why not? Adam Faith No More. Right.
Adam Faith No More. So, sorry, what is the clue? Is the clue Adam Faith, or is it Faith No More?
Just Faith, I suppose. Just Faith No More. The 60s singer. So we got that. That's that. Safe for next week. Who's the winner?
What do you make of it? You've got the deciding vote, Rick.
Well,
come on.
I mean, you know my
I mean, it works, Faith No More, but he's mixed up what cryptic is and that, because the fella, I mean, Adam Faith did actually die having it away, didn't he?
Yeah.
So it's all about him.
It's all right. All the facts are right.
Anyway.
Okay, I think he's got a reprieve. I think I'll give it to him. I think I've got to give it to him, Steve. I think I have. He actually pulled that out of the bag, that one. There's no Jamaican fellas seeing icebergs or, you know, Whitney Houston. The closest he came to is Bennett, and I've got to let him off that. I've got to be a fair ref here.
Well, fair enough.
Bob Dylan. The times, they are a-changing.
The thing is, Rick, it makes me wonder if the times, are they changing? I mean, it seems to me that life's pretty much the same as it was way back in the 60s when Bob Dylan wrote that song.
Got any idea what you're talking about?
No idea whatsoever,
You
Rick.
don't really know about politics, do
No,
you?
know anything about it. Don't even read the papers. Got no interest, really.
Yeah.
Not particularly informed. My life's cushy. Won some awards and stuff. Doesn't bother me. So,
on a serious note, though, it is a bit worrying. I want somebody to put on my... Do I have to get gas masks or something?
No, because there are guys out there in Leicester Square today wearing novelty hats. If they don't sort this war out, then no one can.
Okay, well, I'm not talking about it.
You would worry about it.
I would worry about it.
Well, you, maybe Steve.
Why?
Sort of people who are successful are worrying about it more than other people. Just because, they've got more to lose, haven't they?
Right.
No, do you know what I mean? You see, like, Bruce Willis on the telly saying, it's not good, is it? And it's because he's got a big house and loads of cars. If you live, you know, on a council estate, it's like, well, if it gets bombed, probably doing us all a favour, we'll get nice new blocks of flats to live in and that. It happened with Manchester, with the bomb that happened, and they bombed the Arndale Centre. Did us a favour. Got a nice new Marks and Spencers and that.
So this puts a whole new twist to the argument when people say bombing the world's poorest countries is wrong. Because I remember when the Afghan problem was on, people were saying bombing the world's poorest country is wrong, but it's like home improvement, according to you, then.
Yeah. Because they've got a brand new B&Q, have they, over now? They're popping down there every Sunday.
Anyway, let's not go on about it.
Well, think what you're saying.
Yeah, I know.
My family was killed, but look, a carpet warehouse.
Yeah.
Do you know, I think, you know, people don't want to hear about this today from us. They want to hear, you know, the new features, the songs of phrase.
What songs of phrase?
It's the feature we started last week, where we take clips of songs, we make up a phrase from the show.
I mean, a famous phrase, last week's world-famous phrase was, "There's this airy Chinese kid," you'll remember.
Yes.
Well, it was called Crosswords last week, but Phil emailed in a good suggestion. He said call it Songs of Phrase.
Brilliant. Songs of Phrase. Songs of Phrase, but perfect.
So
are we still going with Cheapest Chimps?
We're persevering with that, aren't we?
Got some Cheapest Chimps lined up. We'll be doing that before 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Great.
Again, who else can say that?
So good. So for the next 2 hours, everyone should just bury their head in the sand, ignore the world's problems, and enjoy features such as Cheapest Chimps and Songs of Phrase.
And a bit of Shearing Breaks.
Oh, class.
Oh.